UFC 295. We're gonna break down this entire card, and before we do that, I want to go over the last card we had of UFC Sao Paulo. I was thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna share some of the bets I've taken just to show you, to be real with you guys in this channel. I want to share some of the bets I've taken. It was a profitable bet for me, profitable card, over $500 of profit. Let's go over that first, and then we can go over UFC 295. So here you can see I'm using stake.com. If you guys want to use stake.com and support the channel, you can use my affiliate link down below in the description. I appreciate each and every one of you who supports the channel by doing that. You can use crypto to bet there if that's something you do or like to do. So let's start with let's start here. Okay, cool. So you can look at this first bet, which was Mark DAKC. I chose him as the winner, but at the mid-fight, I just cashed out. I was about break even, but he just didn't seem that well, and he injured his muscle. He ended up winning, but I just didn't want to take the chance, so I cashed out. Angela Hill, I was talking about her for a long time on my Twitter as well. She was disrespected. She was undervalued. Listen, you got her as the underdog. She just put a show on Gomez. Gomez is good, don't get me wrong. I like Gomez. She has power, but she's still young. She still needs to get some more fights into her, experience, and then move on to people like Angela Hill, who went against the best in the division. I had here a crazy parlay where I go for Mora, Hill, Vitor. It went well. It was 52 times more than the $10 I've put. At the end, there was a draw with Rinat, and Bonfim got KO'd by Dalby. But it was a fun bet. We got Eduardo Mora and Bonfim. So here I cashed out after Mora. You see, I cashed out after Mora won just because Bonfim was... He just didn't... I didn't think that it's worth the value, just because I knew Dalby is so durable and he has the best cardio in his division. I wanted to bet on Rodolfo so bad, but the fight was cancelled because Armin just got sick. This was another cash out that I did just because we had so many voids here, and I was left with Gabriel, so I was like, nah, I'm just gonna take out the money. This was a $30 bet, won 100. Here again, this was a good win. So I put everyone: Caio, Brenner, Petrino, Mora. We got 180 just because I cashed out after Elvis won, if I'm not mistaken. I put Elvis against Kanan. I think that Kanan was not on the level of Elvis, just because, listen, Elvis is too good. He's too good for Kanan. He came on a 3-day notice. He won against really, really good competition in the division, and I think he's a future contender. Here another, okay, we talked about that, blah, blah, blah. Almeida, Lewis. I was trying to punt Lewis, but he looked like shit. He couldn't stuff the takedowns even when the fight went for 5 rounds, and even when he managed to flip Almeida, he just couldn't maintain top control. This is how good Almeida takedowns are, but Almeida couldn't submit him. And he was like, at some point during the fight, he didn't know what to do. He was just like standing above him after he already got the mount. I did put a punt for the overs, and you know what? It was a good value bet, 3.5, got some money over there, but overall it's like a $500 profit. This can change because I use EAT, but it was a profitable guard. We did a few units. Now let's go over UFC 295. So this card is happening next week, and let's start with the first fight of the night: Steve Erceg against Alessandro Costa. So listen, I like Steve Erceg. I like this guy, but he got a win against Dvorak in his debut, and I was picking him to win at that fight. But I just think that Alessandro, although this was a late replacement, I think his striking would be just too much for Erceg. I think that he can outstrike Erceg. He has very strong power. He has 3 losses. Two of them by TKO. One of them was he lost to Albazi, 3rd round. And I'll tell you what, Steve Erceg has really good grappling. He's a good grappler. If you're going to look at his specific statistics, he got most of his wins with submissions, and he only got 1 TKO. It's hard for me to believe that he's gonna KO Costa. Costa managed to get to 3rd round with Albazi, which is a menace with his grappling. So I'm telling you what, I'm going Costa. I think he can win this, a hard-fought decision, or he can actually knock out Erceg. That's my pick. It's gonna be a hard fight, but you get Costa as he's the underdog, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go and look at the bets here. So Costa is the underdog, 2.2. I like him as the winner in this fight. Let's move on. Costa, we talked about him. Now let's go to John Castañeda against Kang. I like John Castañeda here. I think this guy, he's a good wrestler. He's a smart fighter. I like fighters with high IQ, and he just won against Muin Gafurov, who is a tough fighter. Muin Gafurov made a big mistake in his last fight with Nurmagomedov, but he's usually a good fighter, very durable. And you know what? Castañeda managed to stop him. Now, Kang, he's a good wrestler. He has good top control. He has good striking. He's strong as well, but I just think Castañeda is better. I think he's better than him, but this is gonna be a hard fight. I'm probably not gonna bet on this one, just because he's a good fighter as well. Both are good fighters, so I'm probably gonna pass on this one. But overall, I like Castañeda better. Next fight: Tabatha Ricci and Lupita Godinez. I really like this fight, and I really like the underdog. I like Ricci to win here. I think she has good enough of a striking, better striking than Lupita, which is actually a wrestler. And she has slick jiu-jitsu. I don't think she's even going to try to take this fight to the ground, just because I don't think Godinez will try to take it to the ground, just because Tabatha has really good jiu-jitsu. And I think that Ricci, if it's gonna stay on the ground, standing, I think Ricci can outstrike Lupita. It's gonna be a hard fight. I see Tabatha just winning this in a hard-fought decision. I like her more. She's good everywhere, and although she's the underdog, you can see that she's a favorite on Topology. Give me Tabatha all day. I'm taking Tabatha. Now, Nazim Sadykhov and Viacheslav Borshchev. So, we've seen Sadykhov in his last fight against Terrence McKinney. He submitted Terrence McKinney after the first round. Terrence managed to get his back. He didn't manage to submit him, but Sadykhov is really durable. He's a strong fighter and a grappler. And he goes against Viacheslav, which is a good striker. He's known for his striking. And I think that striking is not going to be enough against Sadykhov. I see Sadykhov taking him down and controlling him. Although, listen, he has a good... Although he got taken down many times in his fights, he did get back up. He lost to Mark Diakese, which is now showing a really improved grappling game. He lost to Mike Davis, and I think he's gonna lose to Sadykhov. I just think Sadykhov wrestling. Also, don't forget Sadykhov is training with Algio. He's from his camp, so we know Algio wrestling is phenomenal, and he's much more durable than Algio. So I just think this is a good combo against someone that doesn't have such a good takedown defense. I think he's physically stronger. You can see he's 5'10" compared to 5'11", 69, but Sadykhov is just a beast. Give me Sadykhov. I think he's gonna win. Denis Buzukja against Jamall Emmers. So in his last fight, Buzukja, he had a very, very tough fight where he got pieced up by a very long, rangy Sean Woodson. Listen, I think Jamall Emmers has really good wrestling. When he lost in the UFC, he lost to really good competition, and usually it was split decisions. So Giga Chikadze, split decision. Jack Jenkins, split decision. Pat Sabatini got this heel hook really by surprise. And Denis, he had his debut, which he lost. This fight was very short notice fight for him. I'll tell you what, he's durable. I can see this getting into he's durable and he has good cardio. I see this going to a decision win for Jamall. I just think he's a better fighter overall, has more experience in the cage. Give me Jamall Emmers to win by decision. That's my pick for now. Mark Madsen and Jared Gordon. So Mark Madsen is an Olympic wrestler. He lost once to Grant Dawson, who has a phenomenal wrestling but no chin. Unfortunately, we saw that in his last fight with Green. Now Jared, he's a well-rounded fighter. He can wrestle, he can strike. He got a no contest as a result of a clash of heads with Bobby Green. He lost to Pimblett, which we all know he won. And Mark Madsen, he's a very one-dimensional fighter. He's a good wrestler, obviously. However, I just don't think this is enough because Jared Gordon has good wrestling himself. I think he can win this against Mark Madsen. I think he can win by decision. Give me Jared here. I think he's gonna win. Now we got Joshua Van and Kevin Borjas. Listen, the new generation of Peruvian fighters, those motherfuckers are deadly. They are strong. They're tough. They have really good striking. Now Joshua Van is also a new generation. He's just 22 years old. He's coming from Myanmar. Both are good strikers. But Joshua Van got better I'll say better grappling in my opinion, because Borjas, although he has decent takedown defense and he can get back up, I just think that Joshua will take him down and manage to control him better compared to his fight on Dana White's Contender Series. I think Van's gonna win this. He's obviously he's the favorite in my opinion. Let's see how much we get for him here on stake. So where is he? Let's see, Borjas. Yeah, so you get Joshua for 1.44. You get Kevin for 3, which is nice, but I think Joshua can win. Not a very high value bet, but I think he can win this. Give me Van. Now for the first fight of the main card. This is gonna be fireworks. This is gonna be a really good fight. We have Benoit Saint-Denis and Matt Frevola. So Matt Frevola is coming from the same camp as Sadykhov. Listen, Frevola, he's a really, really dangerous fighter. He has good striking and good grappling. We saw him knocking out Drew Dober, the knockout king. He knocked him out. And, you know, Benoit, he's also a menace. We saw, so if you guys saw Benoit fight against his fight against Elizeu Zaleski, this was one weight class above where he is right now. But Zaleski I thought he's gonna die. Like, I thought he's gonna kill him. He managed to survive all that punishment from Zaleski, which we know is a really good fighter. He almost knocked out Renat at the 3rd round. But after Benoit went down to 155, we see like a different fighter. He keeps winning. He dominated Thiago Moises. He dominated Ismail Bonfim. He's just a menace in 155. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a hard fight. I feel the value is with Frevola, just because Frevola is the underdog here. If we're going to go here, Frevola is the underdog. And, you know, when it's so close in terms of what they know to do, I like the underdogs in those situations. I'm probably not gonna bet this fight, but Frevola, man, he's good. I'll take Frevola here as my pick. It's gonna be a hard fight. Really look forward to watching this fight. Next fight, we have Pat Sabatini and Diego Lopes. Listen, guys, I have a very, very high conviction pick in this fight, and this pick is Diego Lopes. This guy, jiu-jitsu, is insane. You saw him fighting short notice against one of the scariest guys in the division, which is Movsar. And listen, he was about to win. If the fight wasn't ending, he would win against Movsar. The reason he hasn't won was just because how flexible Movsar is, and he even said it in one of his post-fight interviews, that he's very flexible, and that's why he managed to survive. But listen, I don't think Pat Sabatini can handle Diego Lopes. And I'll tell you why. Not because Pat Sabatini can't handle him jiu-jitsu wise. I actually think that Diego Lopes can chin him. We've seen Pat Sabatini getting knocked out before. He is chinning. He got TKO 2 times. And when we saw the fight of Diego Lopes and Movsar, when Diego Lopes was striking with Movsar, he actually outstrike him when they were standing up, he chinned Mofsar a few times and got him wobbly. I like Diego Lopes, especially as the underdog. Give me Lopes. That's my pick for this fight. Next fight, Mackenzie Dern and Jéssica Andrade. Listen, we saw Jéssica Andrade fighting. Where is that? So we saw Jéssica Andrade fighting against good grapplers, and she lost. She lost to Tatiana Suarez, who've shown really improved striking. She lost. Okay, Xiaonan is not a wrestler, but Irene Blanchfeld, she managed to submit her as well. And Mackenzie Dern, she's like world-class jiu-jitsu level. She's like really, really good in jiu-jitsu. And she's shown improved striking with her fight against Angela Hill. Well, you might say that Angela was worried about her takedowns and therefore she didn't really show her striking, but Jéssica will be in the same problem. She's going to be in the same problem. That's why I'm picking Dern. I think she's going to win by submission. Give me Dern by submission. Next fight, Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall. Listen, this is insane. This is better. Like we've seen John Jones getting injured, but I think this is a better fight. We have two killers, two heavyweight killers. One of them is Pavlovich, one of them is Aspinall. The only time in the UFC Aspinall lost was when he got injured with Curtis Blades. Sergey, this motherfucker is dangerous. You don't want to get hit by Sergey. He is just too good when it comes to striking. But Aspinall is a good striker and he's a good grappler. If Aspinall manages to take Pavlovich to the ground, it's his fight, but he needs to get him to the ground in order for that to happen. I'm not gonna pick. If I have to take a pick, I'll take Aspinall. I think Aspinall can win this, but the best decision, like the obvious pick for me here, we're just taking the under. We know both of them are going to go out guns blazing. Aspinall, all his finishes are first round, in my opinion. He got a few in the second round, but most of them are in the first round. He got a rear naked choke against Arlovsky, second round, but after that, first round. And Pavlovich, same. Pavlovich win against Blades. Tuivasa, first round. He lost first round long time ago against Overeem. I don't see this fight going over the first round. Give me the under 1.5. I think this is the best pick for this fight. Now, main event, Jiri Prochazka against Alex Pereira. This is another good fight. Listen, I like Pereira to win. I think he lost, by the way. I think Zhang got robbed in his fight against Pereira. We've seen Pereira evolving in that fight, though. We've seen him getting better takedown defense and better cardio. He looks stronger and faster as a light heavyweight. Jiri, he lost. He was losing. If you saw this fight against Glover, he was losing. He got that rear naked choke because Glover did a mistake. We know Alex is training with Glover. We know that Glover won against You would say up to that point he won against Jiri. And Jiri is hittable. Although he has a good chin, he is hittable. He got KO'd 2 times in the past. And you know, when you look at the striker as good as Alex, I think he can win. I think he can actually knock him out. So I'm taking Alex. This is gonna be a hard fight. I'm probably not gonna make a bet here. I'd probably take the under because one of them are finishing the other. Jiri will have better chance of winning, obviously, if he takes this fight to the ground. He has good jiu-jitsu. He's a smart fighter. He has good cardio. You can see that he doesn't have a lot of submission wins, which is interesting. But he might have a submission win here against Alex if this goes to the ground. So overall, I like Alex here. I think that he's gonna win. He is the favorite as well. But this kid, anything can happen. We saw Alex can get chinned very fast against Pereira. It happened to him. So let's see what happens. Anyway, guys, this is my decision. Let me know what you think. Also, if you want to get deeper verbal breakdowns, follow me on Twitter at BadgerBetsMMA. Let me get inside Twitter so you could see my account. So this is my account, BadgerBetsMMA, on Twitter. Go give me a follow, send me a message, let me know you came from this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.